God save the King, who now reigns as sovereign over the British Empire's great commonwealth of nations. Heralds proclaim this latest succession to the throne in the royal house of Windsor. God bless His Majesty. Windsor Castle, from which sprang the name of England's reigning dynasty, has for 800 years been the home of kings and queens of England. To those of the older generation, memories of Windsor are forever associated with England's widowed queen, Victoria. The old walls see the passing of King Edward too. And then King George is crowned, and with Queen Mary returns in triumph from his coronation. "25 years later, another triumphal drive, a Jubilee procession. And then the last drive of all, as England mourns her most beloved sovereign, one of her greatest monarchs, one of her surest friends. And so the crown passes on, a royal heritage, ruling the greatest empire ever known. So came King Edward to the throne, a truly popular and democratic monarch. Today the herald's trumpets blow once more, as the next in royal succession takes the throne. The Duke of York is king. 9 years have passed since he visited Australia with his Royal Duchess. Met by the Governor-General Lord Stonehaven, their Royal Highnesses receive a resounding welcome, recalling to many the time when his father, King George V, who was then Duke of York, came to Australia 26 years ago. Thence to the Senate, where with pageantry and pomp, Parliament is opened. England's new King and Queen have entered into every sphere of the nation's life. Her Majesty's gracious personality and regal bearing early endeared her throughout the land. A daughter of Scotland is to again become Queen of England. As with King George V, so with his son, religion and family life form a veritable cornerstone. Princess Elizabeth and Princess Margaret Rose frequently accompany their parents. Probably no two princesses have ever been so dearly loved before, straightway captivating the public's heart. As Duke of York, His Majesty was often spoken of as the industrial prince. No wonder there followed unrehearsed scenes such as this, revealing a bond of sympathy between the highest and lowliest in the land. The King's democratic qualities are illustrated in every phase of his activities. He is here seen at one of the boys' industrial camps, a movement originated by him to bring together on a common footing youths of all stations in life. Just a camp of good fellows, and His Majesty one of the gayest of them all.
Boom, that is my drum, that is my drum, my boom, 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 my tick-tock, my ba-la-la, my tick.
So the Duke of York brings to the English throne those human and understanding qualities of kingship, so vital in this age of dire unrest. And throughout the empire, his people celebrate the ascension of their beloved ruler. The scene is set in Australia, where at Sydney, the Lieutenant Governor of New South Wales reads the royal proclamation.
Publish and proclaim that the high and mighty Prince Albert Frederick Arthur George is now become our only lawful and rightful liege lord George VI, by the grace of God, of Great Britain, Ireland, and the British dominions beyond the seas, King, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India.
In every part of the great empire, His Majesty is thus proclaimed. Amid Canadian snows, the royal name rings out at Ottawa, seat of the Dominion government, controlling an area of almost a quarter of the whole British Empire. The eldest daughter in the British family of nations is loyal to the flag. The scene now changes. This is India, with its 360 millions of people, its varied religions, castes, and races. Here loyalty has blossomed from the seed sown when the great White Queen at Windsor Castle first became Empress of India and received homage from potentates of well-nigh illimitable wealth and influence. Jewels and uniforms blaze under this fierce eastern light. The Indian Empire proudly looks to her new emperor. The proclamation of the king's accession rings out in many tongues. African subjects know of the House of Windsor, for all the royal brothers have visited their continent. Soldiers in the service of the king. So the flag is carried on every sea, a symbol of freedom for those who serve under its banner. Crowns may have tottered as strife engulfs the world with waves of isms and civilization staggers under their shattering blows. But like the strong stones of its Norman castle, English monarchy has weathered every storm of time, founded firmly in the affection of her people. The mantle of King George V has fallen on the shoulders of his second son, so like his honored father. The millions over whom he reigns will wish him well, proud in their love of him and his. The royal House of Windsor, long may they reign.